Monday, March 11th, 5 p.m. for the Charlestown Disability Advisory Committee meeting. We're going to call it to order. We have 4 present with us today, 5 present with us today, sorry, and 1 virtual. Can we get a motion to start the motion?
I think with Cindy being virtual, we have to do the roll call for everybody.
Okay. Okay. All right then. Well. So, let's see who's here then. Christina's here.
Christina Gilkey.
Chris is here. I'm here.
Melinda Feltner.
Ashley Combs.
Who's virtual?
Cindy Perkins.
All right, now can we call it to order? All right, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Get it backwards, but that's okay. All right, well, let's get on to the standing business. We have to get some approval for some corrected December meeting minutes. Ashley's gonna tell us what that was for.
Yeah, there was just a date discrepancy at the top. Had a different month and date on one part of it, so I've corrected that. So now it should be good to go.
All right, so can we get a motion to approve those corrected minutes? Anybody? Melinda? Second? Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
All right, Christina. All right, our second standing business is the approval or any corrections.
Make sure you vote.
Yeah, you gotta do
You
a
have to
roll
vote.
call.
Sorry, you gotta vote. All right, is everybody in favor of the corrected minutes?
So you'll have to do roll call vote because Cindy is.
Because Cindy,
virtual,
so everything's roll call today.
So,
Okay,
everyone- yep,
all right, so,
it's just yes or no around the table.
all right, we'll start it off with Christina. Are you in favor?
Abstain. I wasn't here.
All right, yes. All right, yes for me.
Just for me.
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
All right, okay, so it is approved. All right, now we move on to the January meeting minutes. If anybody get a chance to look at those and see if there was any thing that needed to be changed when Ashley sent those out this week? Anybody? No? No? Okay. All right, well, then let's take a vote on approving those. Let's do roll call. We'll start out with Christina again.
You'll need the motion in the second first and then the vote.
Okay, let's do the motion first.
Oh.
I had it backwards. All right,
I'll motion.
motion again. Anybody else want to second the motion?
I'll second.
I second it.
All right, now roll call. Goodness gracious. All right, we'll get it together today, I promise. All right,
Abstain one more time.
yep, you weren't here. All right,
Good.
all right. Yes for me.
Yes for me.
Yes.
Miss Cindy?
Yes. Yes.
All right, approved. All right, we're ready to move on to the old business. Let's see, so the old business, we had Mayor Tarifa come and talk to us about the Easter event that's coming up on the 30th, is that right?
Yes.
All right, what did we decide that we were planning, did we plan on doing anything for that other than just attending? I don't remember
Yeah, I think just
discussing
attending.
anything other than just the attendance of it. Let me check my notes and see if I had anything else to that. No, other than it's at the activity park, in case anybody forgot, it's not at Greenway this year. And then the egg, we have the, so what, there was an egg hunt I know for special needs. I want to get that time out there. I wrote 10:15, is that right?
verifying. Yes, I think that's correct. And I think the first hour of the
First-
train ride is also gonna be reserved.
Oh, I was gonna get to that next, I had that. First two
Yeah,
rides.
it says
right?
10:40 to 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Is
the
the
train
train ride.
All right, so first two rides at 10:40 and 11 o'clock will be for the special needs families, if anybody's interested in attending that. And then the first egg hunt is also for the special needs families, and that is at 10:15. With the rest of the event going on every hour, another group, I believe is how it's working.
So I have the special needs, on the website, it says the special needs hunt is at 10, so I guess they decided to run it at 10.
Okay.
I don't want anybody to miss that.
Okay, 10 a.m., not 10:15.
Right.
Okay. All right. But we're still on for the train rides beginning at 10:40 and at 11.
And the train rides, sensory special needs from 10:15 to 10:40.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
so that, but got both of two. Okay.
Okay.
So basically 10:20, the 10:20 and the 10:40 is
Yes.
be what's, okay. All right. I'll get on there and add that also in the comments for the meeting too, and maybe in case anybody needs that as a. Okay. Does anybody else have anything to add about that before we go on to the next part of the old business? Okay.
Is anybody else planning to attend? Are you attending?
Yeah, I plan on attending. I'm hoping, I'm trying to be around all day. At least myself, not even if the kids are, well, I got one kid working there, so she'll be there, but, the youngest one, we'll try to take her to the Easter egg hunt and see how that goes.
I can attend as well, I just checked my calendar.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, and I probably will wear my, shirt, my DAC shirt, if anybody else still has some. All right, so then our next thing we talked about the last meeting was our resources pamphlet. Ashley has been talking about that specifically, trying to figure out what things we can add to that. Services and resources. Has anybody else thought any more further about that, or did you make up like a sample one, or had you got any further?
I hadn't. Cool. Yeah, I was working more on the awareness days stuff. I was gonna see, did you attend the health fair they had?
No, I did not. We had a health emergency.
I heard there was a good turnout though.
No.
I talked to a few of my neighbors and stuff, and they said that
There you
it
go.
was, yeah, nice. Treva, do you know?
Yeah, it had a good turnout. I was there, we had, I think, about 30 vendors and people. It was very well attended, so our community liaison was there for a while, so that was helpful. I was just trying to make sure that in our welcome booklet, so we send this to every new resident that signs up with our utility services. They get this welcome booklet. It was just updated, and I was just trying to make sure that we have the group, yes. So your committee is listed in the group.
Okay.
And we do have a section of our website that is devoted to accessible resources and things. So if you find something you just want us to put on that website, a link to something,
Okay.
just let Brian know, and he'll update that regularly.
All right.
So maybe at future events or something, I can make like a QR code or something.
Yeah.
If we wanna put that out there to,
Maybe a QR code to that
that,
website.
yeah. That might be best
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. Anybody have anything to add to that? Sounds like a good idea to do that, rather than trying to do like a resource pamphlet ourselves. Do that, and then we could just add whatever we need to onto the city's site. That sounds good. I know Brian will love that. We also talked about the awareness days. You said you got a list of some awareness dates for us?
I was working on it.
Okay.
I'm still,
There's a lot.
yeah, there's.
I also looked on for a few. I got to about 10 days of the month of March just alone, and there was like hundreds of awareness days, and I was like, whew, this would be a full-time job, just listing all these.
Yeah, I was looking at them, I think just gonna try to like look for more general
Yeah.
ones. So like I said, I was working
Yeah.
on that because I had some health stuff come up, since the last meeting. But I know one of the next big ones is Autism Awareness Month, next month. So that one for sure I can email Brian about.
Okay. That sounds good.
And if we had any other ideas or anything to go along with that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, March is cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Is it the whole month or just, was there a day, Cindy? I've seen a bunch of stuff early in the month and then I haven't seen anything else since then, so I need to go back and look.
June is rare, like autoimmune diseases.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, we'll just have to figure out a generalized thing, because every day there's several individualized ones. Okay. We'll work on that. Does anybody else have anything else to add about the old business before we move on? All right, let's start with the new business. First thing we have is Through the Ages Fashion Show. Don't have a ton of stuff to add for that yet. We're getting together with different people at this point to begin that. And Mayor Truva is getting a date set up to discuss like the actual details of it. So I won't have that, well, we're not having a meeting for April. And I think our next meeting's not till June, am I right?
Yeah, June 10th.
So,
And I was gonna ask if we wanted to do one before that.
well, that's where I was gonna say, do we, since we are gonna be having that part of that fashion show, do we want to have something in May? That way, because otherwise I won't have any, I mean, it'll already be over by the time our next meeting gets here.
When is your next meeting, June?
I have June 10th wrote down.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the Founder's Day show would not be till, the week after, so it'd be the next week, or like moving on,
Yeah.
so having that meeting on the 10th is still gonna be critical, because it'd be right before the
Yeah,
event.
yeah.
But if you wanted to have one the week of May 20th,
Okay. What's everybody got? Does anybody object to that?
or May 13th, either one.
I know I'm gonna be out of town.
Either one works for me.
Okay. What about you, Christina? You checking your calendar?
Yep.
And what y'all could do is you could just have a workshop where you're not doing any other business, you're just finalizing any kind of details for that. We
Okay.
just advertise it as a workshop, and then usually what we do is we don't live stream those, we just
Okay.
record it and upload it later so that, you know,
That
it's
sounds
just-
good.
that way you can focus on that topic and not have to worry about anything else at that meeting.
Okay.
If the 20th is agreeable with everyone else, I'm available that day. The 13th, I can make it work.
What about you? Are you good for the 20th?
I can be. I'm gonna be at Disney World for a week before, so.
Okay, so you wouldn't be here the 13th, yeah. Okay, so let's say May the 20th, and let's do a workshop, not a meeting. We will not be live stream for that, we'll just be figuring out what roles we'll play in the Through the Ages fashion show. I think it's gonna be a pretty exciting event for our older community and our special needs community, because it's going to be both combined together. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I like the idea. We're working with some pretty great people getting that set up. And that'll be at the A&E Center. I do know that. And we discussed having a pageant, but we thought this would be a better way for both groups to be involved. So,
Are we gonna be at 5, our usual 5?
5 p.m. good for everybody? Okay. All right. So So we'll do that, and then if I have any new information in between then, I'll send you guys an email letting you know, but at this point, I'm just waiting on the meeting to happen. All right, and then so we'll move along to Founder's Day. It's the event itself. Last year, I think everybody just kind of divided up and was here, and I kind of in my mind have Founder's Day and Community Days blurred of what I did at which one. So I know I went to both, but I can't remember what I did at both, but we kind of just had, when there was the city's table, we kind of just hung out there and
Yeah, I think for the Founder's Day one, we were at the city tent, but we didn't really have
anything set up.
anything set
Yeah.
up. We were just kind of there. And then for Community Days, when we did the survey,
Yeah,
and we had
that's right.
that. So, yeah.
So maybe for the Founder's Day, we can have a big, we did learn that we don't want that big white thing that folds because it was blowing everywhere. We had like so we need to have just like a bigger frame thing, maybe have the QR code for the resources, and then if you can be there, anybody can be there, wear your disability advisory shirt maybe, and I'll try to get some new ones made up, maybe something brighter between then. I am newly a Cricut user, not making everything, and I have everybody beware, you never know what you're going to get, kind of thing right now. So I'll in the next few weeks, you all get a random text saying, "Hey, what shirt you wear?" You'll know it's me. I'm going to try to make something brighter for everybody. Does anybody have any other ideas for Founder's Day?
Are we gonna do the parade again?
Oh, yeah, that's the parade day. I will have to get with probably Carrie on the parade for Founder's Day. So I will get with Carrie and see what we can come up with. That was nice riding the train last year and helping out with Founder's Day, Princess and Prince, helping them pass candy. They were really cute. So yeah, I'll see if Carrie can make room for us on the train. If not, I'm sure that we could walk with Mary Treva. She probably. Oh, you're gonna ride the train this year? You're not gonna get out and walk?
Be on the front of the train. I did both last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were back
I
and
rode
forth.
the train and then ran and walked.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
We just ride the train. There shouldn't be a problem. We usually offer all elected officials the opportunity to ride the train, which I would anticipate some of them will probably take advantage of that this year, but there's plenty of room on the train. It'll hold 40 people, let's be real. So I don't have a problem putting, offering, let you guys. We'll have a Grand Marshal. I don't know if the Grand Marshal will ride the train or want to be a separate float. I don't know, so.
Do we know who the Grand Marshal is this year?
I've extended an offer.
Okay.
I don't know if they're gonna accept it or not, so.
Okay. Okay. Hoping for somebody famous?
I don't know about that. Hometown hero kind of thing.
We're still, I think the high school is still holding out for Ed Sheeran to participate in our prom festivities for Frida
Nice.
and JoJo. I don't know if anybody has seen the video of Frida and JoJo, but if you have not,
Yes,
the
it's
promposal, go to the high school, any of the high school, anybody from the high school probably has shared that video, and it was on, I believe, CBS morning show last week. Yeah, it was so cute. So, yeah, everybody's trying to get his attention. I'm sure he's watching our meeting here, so maybe he'll see it. So Ed Sheeran, if you're out there, contact us. All right, so yeah, we'll get with Carrie about the parade stuff, and we'll figure that out too. Anything else for Founder's Day? Cindy, you got any questions? No.
Is she on like major delay?
Obviously,
No.
I'll be able to hear you. Mike.
All right, so any other additional things going on that anybody wants to discuss for this month? Any other events that we know of? No? No? I know I keep looking at Marissa.
So I can give a small update
Yeah.
on something that we're doing to help improve accessibility. Again, our goal is perfection. We realize we're never gonna reach perfection. We know that as we make these changes, it's always sometimes one step at a time towards that. So, one of the things that we're doing is we recently are in the process of resurfacing the basketball court that is in Greenway Park down off of Spring Street. And in doing that, we realized there was no paved access from the parking lot to the court in case someone needed to access the court. There was just ditch. So they are installing a sidewalk, just a short sidewalk from the parking lot to get to the court. Another thing that we're trying to do. We also have them looking at options for paving a pathway to access where the food trucks park, like we've previously discussed. Unfortunately, we're running into some pretty significant issues because of drainage. There are some stormwater lines that run right through where we need to put something. So it's a little bit more of a challenge than we thought. We may have to bring in an engineer to take a look at that instead of being able to do it in-house. So just keep that in mind. We are still trying to make progress. Another thing we're doing is we're looking at paving just a path in the dog park on both sides from the entryway out into kind of to the center area of the dog park, because we realize there is currently no way for someone who utilizes a wheelchair to be able to easily roll out further than just the entryway. So trying to make at least a station where they can go out and have a little platform to increase access and make that a little bit easier for folks. We will be installing a shelter cover in one of the dog sides. We haven't decided which side it's gonna be yet. Because as we're having to tear out equipment from Woodford Farms where we have to remove that playground because of the Duke Power easement, we wanted to repurpose the shelter house, so we're putting it on one of those sides. And then we will eventually build another one on the other side.
So what's happening to the playground?
We have to remove the playground because Duke Energy came through and said we never had permission, the city never had permission to put it there because it's in an easement.
Right.
And so we are repurposing as much as we can. So the basketball goals are going to be installed down here because they're newer than the ones that were down there. And then the playground equipment itself is going out to Knoble Park, where there was some significant damage at Knoble Park to some of the slides. And although we got a price on doing another more accessible playground out there to the tune of another $200,000, which we just don't have. So, kind of a quick fix, we said, well, we do have the accessible playground here, although we're not perfect. Again, we work towards those things. So rather than spending $200,000 there that we really didn't have, we thought it'd be better if the next move we make for an accessible playground would be to focus at the Family Activity Center to eventually update the playground space there, because it's coming due. It's okay right now, but it is certainly coming due. And before we tear that out and replace it, when we have a plan to replace it, we want to make another accessible playground equipment like we have down
It's a
here.
really good idea to not waste that equipment and be able to.
Right, so we'll be able to reuse it. I mean, you're talking about to replace one of the broken slides. When I say the slide is broken, I'm telling you completely hole in the slide, like broken.
Right.
To replace one slide is $10,000. So rather than spend $10,000 to replace one slide, we're actually able to move the full equipment from Woodford Farms and reinstall at Knoble Park for $25,000. So, they take it down, they tear out the other, they reinstall. So it's a little bit of savings overall, and at least we're not losing the equipment.
Right.
But we figured with, as we make a progression, it's probably not realistic at least in the next 10 or 20 years to see all the pocket parks have no mulch and play surface floor. I think that's a bit excessive considering we have 7 pocket parks. But if we can make the Family Activity Center more accessible friendly, then that would be a place to put them. And then our biggest 2 uses. And then of course, as we build new with Shadow Lake and all those things, we'll build with that in mind. But again, we just chip away. Sometimes it's bigger, sometimes it's small. And the sidewalk from the basketball court to the parking lot is small, but just another way that with your help, we're always mindful of trying to make those changes.
And while you're up here, do you want to give us any kind of update on Teen Depot? I know we got.
Yeah, the Teen Depot, the grand opening is the 26th of April. They've got a pretty big event scheduled there. I think they got a couple food trucks that are coming in. It is an accessible space, accessible surface. We made sure that everything is able to be used there at that site with turf and concrete surfacing. They've just been working to get everything kind of cleaned up, ready to go. Stringing new lights, and they took some of the feedback that they received over the soft opening at Christmas, and we actually had to redo the smoothie coffee bar in its entirety. So rather than having the open gazebo that was there, we had to actually buy a pre-built shed and reinforce it, and build walls and make it heated and cooled, and so that our staff that's working there will have a space that they can actually serve from that fits with not only health department guidelines, but also keeps the pipes from freezing, which was a major problem at Christmas, so. Yeah, you know she was there. So it's gonna be a much, I think, better use of the space. And they've got events scheduled for, I think, every Friday night. We are still kind of keeping it a relatively soft opening rather than opening it every night of the week. I think it's gonna be open, just portions of the week that we feel like will be more used. But it is restricted to teens at certain nights, Friday, Saturday nights, that's for teens. So, we wanted to make sure they had a place that is their own, where their little brothers and sisters won't be, in their way, give them a space. But we are hiring for that now, hiring for both the Family Activities Park and for Depot. They need to be either graduated from high school or at least 18 years old to work at the Depot. And other than that, we hire all the way down to 14. So, if you know anybody who's looking for a part-time job, now's the time to let us know, especially since we will be opening the concession stand at Greenway this year on Friday, Saturday. So, and Sundays, I think. We noticed that with the new playground, we had a lot more traffic down here. And so we're going to open the concession stand and make it available for people while they're there and make use of that. And continuing to work on trying to solve the bathroom problem down there. We have experienced some pretty significant vandalism when we just allowed them to open, and so they will only be open now when staff is down there with concessions open. We do, of course, have the porta pot that is at the, it's not ideal, but it is there. We hope to be able to renovate at some point in the future those bathrooms and make them fully accessible. I imagine what will happen is they will become 2 single-use bathrooms instead of a men's and a women's. Because with the limited amount of space, the only way to get the adult changing tables in there with the proper clearance will be to just make them single use. I don't think that will be done this year, hopefully next year.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you, Mayor.
Excited about
Thank
that.
you.
All right, so does anybody else have anything that they want to add? So then we'll adjourn with just knowing that on, like I said, there will be no meetings for April, no technically meeting for May. We will meet on May 20th at 5 p.m. just for the workshop. That will not be live streamed. But I guess if anybody in the public is interested in that, we will be here. And then our next meeting is Monday, June the 10th. So, all right, does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. And then we need to do the roll call. So we'll start again with Christina.
Yes.
And I'll give that a yes. And you, Ashley?
Yes.
Yes.
And Cindy, you go with it?
Yes.
All right. Okay, with that, it is 5:30. All right.
Good job, everybody.